What's going on, people, and welcome to Man Knows Football. You are here with myself, Guni, and I've got several exciting stories to discuss with you today. And obviously the massive one is that we've officially got our player in through the door. Romeo Lavia, the young 19-year-old Belgian, has officially signed for Chelsea Football Club today. A player that I'm very excited to have. This is a player, if you've been subscribed to this channel, that I've been talking about for the absolute longest. For the majority of the last season, I've been saying Lavia is a young profile that we definitely should be doing a lot to be bringing to Chelsea Football Club. I finally got my wish. Many of us got our wish because I know I'm not the only one out there, but he has arrived at Chelsea, one of two excellent number 6 options at the club now, man. This midfield rebuild looks excellent, fantastic so far, man. I'm really excited. But I'm also here to discuss two other stories. The next one being, we might finally be able to get rid of that Buffalo Romelu Lukaku. It is possible that he might be leaving Chelsea Football Club because apparently there are 2 concrete offers for Romelu Lukaku to be leaving Chelsea Football Club. So we're going to find out who they are later on in the video. And the third story that we're going to be discussing is the potential move that Chelsea will be making for Arsenal striker Folarin Balogun. So we're going to look into that a little bit more. We're going to discuss the stories surrounding that player. But before we do get into the content, I need you to do these things for me. It's especially important right now because I'm just getting back into the algorithm. As you know, I had to take a little break off, but I am back now. I'm trying to be consistent. So do smash that thumbs up button. Yeah, make sure you do give the video a like. Leave your thoughts down there in the comments as well. And as always, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Romeo Lavia, the young 19-year-old Belgian, the exciting defensive midfielder who showcased his talent very well last season at Southampton, which got him this move to Chelsea Football Club, is officially a Chelsea player. He has signed for a 7-year deal, which is a very long time, and it's, you know, even better for me because I don't want to see this player leaving the club. Yeah, we've got a very talented player on our hands, but this transfer itself wasn't without its drama, if we're being honest. Liverpool were very much in front runners for signing Romeo Lavia. Liverpool were front runners to be signing Romeo Lavia through portions of last season and in this transfer window, but it seems like they made one very fatal mistake. They went to pursue Moises Caicedo and bid a staggering £110 million, a then British record for a midfielder. All of us were staggered by it. We were completely flabbergasted. I was not ready for it. No rival club was ready to see Liverpool put that kind of money down. We didn't think they had that kind of money, but they showed their hand, and fortunately for us, they were unsuccessful, and the ramifications bit them twofold. Number one, Moises Caicedo still chose Chelsea Football Club, and number two, Romeo Lavia was put off by this. Why was he put off by this? Well, apparently the story goes, once they put that 110 million bid, Romeo Lavia was really in limbo. They completely abandoned his situation. He didn't know whether they were still interested. He had no contact with the club. However, Joe Shields, the key in this for Chelsea Football Club. Joe Shields has got a very interesting history with Romeo Lavia. Did sign him from Anderlecht to Manchester City. Took him from Manchester City to Southampton. Now, for the third time, he has brought him with him to Chelsea Football Club. And he has maintained contact with the player, even when apparently he was hot favourite to be going to Liverpool Football Club. Joe Shields was always there in the background. But when Chelsea saw that opportunity to strike, they picked the perfect moment. Joe Shields, although we were going in for Moises Caicedo, we were fighting with Liverpool for the player, we're still speaking to Lavia and letting him know, just because we're going for Caicedo does not mean that you are not an important fit for the club. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't mean that. We have a plan for you. We've got a good plan for your development. You definitely will be used within this team. You give us different tactical options that we perhaps don't have without you. You will be valued in this squad, and of course, we will be winning silverware down the line, and you will very much be a part of that. So Romeo Lavia definitely sold by the project, and it does help to have somebody that you've worked with throughout your career. So well done, Joe Shields, man. We owe this guy a massive thank you for being able to facilitate this move. And also as well, Eden Hazard. Apparently, he was having words with Romeo Lavia a little before the transfer window opened, letting him know how life was at Chelsea Football Club. And we did get to see Eden Hazard in one of the announcements for Romeo Lavia. And it was really good to see the little legend, the little senior Belgian legend in Eden Hazard, formally welcoming his young counterpart, young Belgian Romeo Lavia, to Chelsea Football Club, and really just letting him know that he believes in his talent and he will shine at Chelsea Football Club. We're going to move on and we're going to read some of the statements that Chelsea have made about this player. Then we're going to go on and look at the thoughts of Romeo Lavia and his move to Chelsea Football Club. But Chelsea have said about Romeo Lavia, as one of the hottest young talents in world football, it was unlikely Romeo Lavia's future lay with relegated Southampton. The 19-year-old stood out in a struggling Saints side last season, belying his inexperience by showcasing an impressive touch, plenty of tenacity and a striking passing range. There were clearly no shortage of suitors for Lavia, who has already made his senior Belgian debut. Just like Moises Caicedo a few days ago, Lavia's choice in the end was for Chelsea. He adds his name to the list of exciting prospects who have moved to Stamford Bridge in the past year. So Chelsea obviously not going into too much detail, giving us a bit of an insight on the player's profile. I do feel like I can add to that. I mean, Romeo Lavia, the majority of you have seen him in the Premier League, but for those that don't know, he is a very multifaceted number 6, because he's got all the tools to just do pretty much any job in that position. Excellent close control, he can wiggle himself out of tight spaces, dribbles very well as well, so he is a good ball carrier, has an excellent pass on him, can create things from deep, can break lines with those passes and perhaps play a Mudryk, Jackson, one of our attackers, through in on goal. He's definitely got that in his locker. He's got a very good engine on him as well. He does put himself about. When it comes to the physical aspect of the game, he's not shy with that too. He does win his tackles. He does like to get stuck in. And also as well, to those of you that remember his performance against us where he completely ran the show, he doesn't score many, but just go back and see that goal. It was an beautiful hit, beautiful hit. I know Chelsea were interested before that point, but that point definitely must have made them accelerate and say, nah, you know what, this guy definitely has to come to Chelsea Football Club. And to those of you that are questioning this guy's age, and you know, is it perhaps a little bit too early for him to step in at Chelsea? I assure you, it's definitely not. Romeo Lavia is ready for a move like this. I would say that the majority of top-level clubs would welcome him into the club, and I think he can do a job now. I definitely think he can do a decent role now. But let's see what the players' thoughts are on his move to Chelsea Football Club. We've got some official quotes here. 3 factors determine my decision, Lavia tells us in his first interview at Cobham. The project and the ambitions of the club were key factors in me choosing Chelsea, but also the history behind the club. It's really exciting to be part of this football club and to write some history. I'm really happy and proud. It's a privilege to be able to put on this shirt. Most of the players we've signed are players I've played against and thought, oof, these players are good. So to be able to work with them is a great feeling. They are young players and good players, so it will be good to make each other better. That is the only way to succeed. So to those that were saying, well, he only chose Chelsea for the money, well, right there it tells you that he's not gone there for the money. Do you know what I mean? He's gone there for the project and he's been sold by the project. And the second thing is, if rumours are to be believed, he's actually on less than 100k a week. And if we're being real here, you know that he could have got more elsewhere. So it's not necessarily just about the money. He potentially could have got more money than that at Liverpool. So listen, man, we've just proved you wrong. Cry more. But you know, by the sounds of this, Romeo Lavia knows definitely what to expect at Chelsea. He knows that he's got to fight for his position. He knows, most importantly, that he's not the only talented player at the club. So he's going to have to continue working hard. He's going to have to fight for his position like every other player at Chelsea Football Club. Nobody at an elite club has got the right to be starting week in, week out. It is a meritocracy. You play on form. You get me? Romeo Lavia is no different, but I'm sure that he is relishing the challenge. And it does seem like Chelsea have learned from previous lessons. What do I mean by that? If you remember, N'Golo Kante didn't really have another midfielder of that profile to be rotating with him to take the pressure off his legs. And that, in turn, in my opinion, it shortened his career at Chelsea Football Club, because towards the end of his time at Chelsea, he couldn't really stay fit, could he? And Chelsea definitely have to take responsibility for that, for doing that to N'Golo Kante. We did fail him in that sense, but big up N'Golo Kante, will always love you at the club. Massive club legend, signed a whopping deal at Saudi Arabia. Definitely deserves the happiest and deserves the best out there. But to have these two options as number 6, two potentially elite number 6s in world football in years to come, and we could have them for over a decade, man. Yeah, rotating in that position is nothing short of sensational news, man. Chelsea have taken this midfield rebuild, something that many of us have been crying out for, seriously. And I hope that we're going to be addressing other positions in a similar manner. So the drop-off from the first team to the bench isn't too much, because that is how you compete for titles, people. Like I've said in several previous videos, you don't compete with your first 11, you compete with your squad. And by making signings like this, that is exactly what we are intending to do. So it's a massive, massive boost for Chelsea. But I've seen the discussion, I've seen the questions. Will Chelsea be using the midfield three of Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo and Lavia? Now, when we look at Pochettino's preferences in terms of his starting lineups, he does like to use the 4-2-3-1. And I don't think he's going to be any different, even though we have signed Romeo Lavia. So I think predominantly we are going to be seeing the double pivot with the attacking midfielder ahead of that. And I do think it will be Enzo and Caicedo right now. That's the pairing that makes the most sense. But that's not to say we might not see the pivot with the number 6 at the base. And Romeo Lavia will definitely have his chances there. That's naturally where he does like to play. Could be an in-game tactical switch. We may find ourselves up against one of the, one of the favourites for the titles, one of the title contenders, a little 2-0 or something, and we might want to protect that lead. So we might see the number 10 come off and then Romeo Lavia come and do that number 6 role to give us more of a protection in front of that defence with both Caicedo and Lavia. So there are different tactical measures that you can take from this, man. It opens us up to so many different possibilities, which is why I'm very excited about this. But let me know how you feel about Romeo Lavia signing for Chelsea on a 7-year deal. Are you concerned about his age, or do you feel he's an exception to the rule and that he is ready to step in and contribute now in an effective manner? Let's move on to the next story, and we're going to discuss the potential move of Romelu Lukaku. Yes, that Buffalo does have a ticket out of Chelsea. Not just one, but 2. I'm very disappointed in Romelu Lukaku. He made me make up a song for him for absolutely no reason. He turned around and he humiliated me, which is why, yeah, I have got hostile feelings kind of towards Lukaku. Please just get out of the club. Now, those 2 clubs in question are rumoured to be Juventus and Al Hilal. This news broke on the London is Blue podcast by Nizar Kinsella. As you can see here from the tweet on the screen that states, currently Chelsea have 2 offers on the table for Romelu Lukaku that they have verbally accepted. One from Juventus being 37 million euros plus 2.5 million in add-ons, and Al Hilal for 40 million euros. Both offers are still on the table, and it is now all up to Lukaku. So there are 2 concrete offers on the table that have apparently been accepted by Chelsea Football Club. Is this the moment, people, where we finally say good riddance, sayonara to Romelu Lukaku? Because as well as the negative feelings and how he has portrayed himself at the club, the massive sticking point for me in this is we are getting rid of 350k plus wages a week. Yeah, and we already know that we're looking to strengthen other areas. So a move like this for Lukaku to be leaving Chelsea could mean that we could be going for another top talent in another position. And there are positions up for grabs here. Apparently we are still looking at the goalkeeper situation. I do hear that Chelsea are looking to persist with Robert Sanchez as the number 1. But could this mean that we could potentially go up a level and perhaps tempt AC Milan with the 80 million euro offer for Mike Maignan that's rumoured to said to be acceptable to AC Milan? Would you take this opportunity to do that, let me know in the comments. I believe that, you know, the goalkeeper position, you can't really compromise that. You've got to have a world-class keeper to really be solidifying any kind of title chase or major honours, man. And I think Magnan will definitely do that. But there are several other areas that we're looking at. You know, there's the number 10 situation. Unfortunately, Elise will not be coming to Chelsea Football Club, so we are exploring options there. And also as well, we've been rumoured to several other wing options, you know, as well, inside forwards in Johnson at Nottingham Forest. There's also Bradley Barcola over at Lyon. And today we've seen rumours of Jeremy Doku as well. So perhaps we could be addressing that. And another, you know, position that we could be addressing, especially the fact that Lukaku will be leaving, is that striker position. But before we move on to the striker story, let me know what you think. Will Romelu Lukaku accept one of these options? I'm very surprised that Juventus went forward and decided to make a bid, because their fans have expressed that they're not happy with Lukaku and they don't want him at the club. Sorry about that. New York City doing this New York City thing, man. It's never a quiet moment in the city that never sleeps. But do you see him picking one of these clubs? I really hope so, for Chelsea's sake, that he does get out of the door. We're going to move to our third and final story, and that is the rumours of Chelsea sniffing around Arsenal's young striker, Folarin Balogun, who has been made available by Arsenal Football Club. The very young, talented striker got a bag of goals, over 20 goals last season in League 1. And that's not a mug's return, man. People do say League 1's a farmers league, but I don't think so. They develop very good players, World Cup winning players, you know, in that league. So we've got to respect it a little bit. And those numbers are quite impressive. Does fit the profile. He's not going to ask for astronomical wages as well. And once again, it's another move that is easy to facilitate, because I'm assuming Balogun is living around that London area, so he doesn't have to go too far. Coming to the blue side of London, you get me? Yeah, so you never know. This move could happen, but let's see what the reports are saying about Folarin Balogun. The secret scout, who has been a very reliable source throughout this transfer window, has tweeted, "Understand Chelsea have had discussions with Folarin Balogun representatives last night and today. The US international has an offer from Monaco. Decision on his future likely to be decided by next week." So, according to the secret scout, there have been talks already. Like I said, Balogun is a very, very talented striker. And like I said before, this is one that has got an excellent return over in France. Could he do it at the Premier League? This is a player, by the way, when you speak to a lot of Arsenal fans, they don't want to see him leave. They believe that he could do a better job than Eddie Nketiah. And I agree, in my honest opinion. So a lot of Arsenal fans wouldn't be happy to see him leave, which adds extra spice for me in this transfer. But let me know your thoughts on this transfer. Would you like to see him come through the doors of Stamford Bridge? Are you happy? Well, I'm never going to ask that. I already know you're happy that Lukaku's leaving. And once again, let me know your thoughts down there on Romeo Lavia. And obviously, before you do go, smash the subscribe button if you're new. Give the video a thumbs up as well. Get us back up in that algorithm. And leave your thoughts down there in the comments. I'm out. Bless up. Gareth Southgate out.